Cheating wife story. His revenge left her begging for forgiveness. I never thought I'd be the guy living a cheating wife story. But at 2:47 a.m., when I saw her phone light up with a name that wasn't mine, my world cracked. If this hits you in the heart, stick with me. Hit that like button and subscribe to Viora for stories that don't just tell, they feel. My name's Nathan Carter, 38, a project manager at a construction firm in Raleigh, North Carolina. Life looked good from the outside. I had a cozy 3-bedroom house, a solid marriage of 12 years, to my wife Lauren and 2 kids. Ella, 10, and Max, 7, who were my entire universe. Lauren was the kind of woman who lit up rooms, a marketing consultant. She had this laugh that could make anyone feel like they belonged. We weren't millionaires, but with our combined incomes, we had enough for a comfortable life, a yearly vacation, a nice car, and a savings account that gave us peace. I thought we were happy. I thought we were us. This cheating wife story starts 6 months ago when Lauren suggested a getaway to Charleston just as Nate. She said, her hazel eyes sparkling over a glass of Pinot Grigio. Let's fall in love again. I was all in. Work had been brutal, and the kids kept us running. A romantic trip felt like the reset we needed. I booked the flights, paid for a boutique hotel by the waterfront, and even splurged on a dinner cruise. Lauren handled the hotel details, or so she said. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? The first twist came at the airport. As we checked in, Lauren's phone buzzed. She glanced at it, smiled, and said, "Oh, the girls are meeting us there." Girls, I froze. "What do you mean, girls?" I asked. Keeping my tone light, Lauren laughed, brushing her auburn hair behind her ear. "My friends. Silly Chloe, Megan, and Sarah. They've been dying for a trip, and I thought it'd be fun." My stomach tightened. This was supposed to be our trip, but I swallowed the disappointment. Lauren was social. She thrived with her friends. I didn't want to be the controlling husband. So I nodded, forced a smile, and boarded the plane. When we landed in Charleston, the vibe shifted. Chloe, Megan, and Sarah were waiting at baggage claim, all hugs and squeals. They were nice enough, but their energy was loud. Chloe, a Pilates instructor with a sharp tongue, gave me a once-over and said, "Wow, Nate, you actually took time off." Lauren said, "You're married to your desk." The others laughed. I brushed it off, but it stung. Lauren didn't defend me. She just linked arms with Sarah and headed for the exit, leaving me to grab the bags. At the hotel, the second twist hit like a punch. The receptionist handed out keys. 3 rooms, 4 women, and me. "Mr. Carter, you're in room 204, she said. I blinked. And my wife Lauren cut in all breezy. "Oh, I'm bunking with Chloe and Megan, Nate, girls' night vibe, you know. You've got your own space to relax." "Relax? In a separate room?" Sarah smirked, muttering, "Hope you don't snore." "Nate." The group giggled, and Lauren didn't even look at me. I felt like an outsider in my own marriage. That night, alone in my room, I stared at the ceiling, replaying every moment. Was this a true cheating story? Or was I overreacting? Lauren's friends had always been part of our life. But this felt different. Their jokes weren't playful. They were pointed, and Lauren, she was distant, her warmth reserved for them. I scrolled through Reddit cheating stories on my phone, wondering if I was paranoid. But the knot in my gut wouldn't loosen. The next morning over breakfast, the third twist landed. Chloe waved her phone, showing off photos from a rooftop bar they'd hit after I went to bed. Lauren was in every shot, glowing her arm around some guy I didn't know. "Who's that?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. Lauren glanced at the photo and shrugged. "Just some friend of Megan's. No big deal." But her eyes darted away and Chloe's smirk grew. I didn't push it, not yet. I've read enough cheating wife Reddit posts to know confrontation without proof is a trap. By day 2, the pattern was clear. Lauren and her friends treated me like baggage. They planned spa days, brunches, and tours, all charged to my card. I'd offered to cover the trip for Lauren and me, but now I was bankrolling 5 people. When I checked my banking app, I saw $300 in charges. Restaurants, cocktails, even a boutique dress Lauren bought with Sarah. She hadn't asked. She hadn't even told me. The fourth twist came that evening at the dinner cruise I'd booked for us. I'd pictured Lauren and me swaying under the stars, rekindling what we had. Instead, I was at a table with her friends who barely acknowledged me. Lauren sat across from me, but her attention was on Chloe, whispering and laughing. Then I saw a notification on her phone. Face up on the table. A text from Jake. "Miss you already. Last night was fun." My heart stopped. Last night, when she was at that bar, I glanced at Lauren, but she didn't notice. She was too busy laughing at something Megan said. I didn't sleep that night. At 3 a.m., I logged into our joint credit card account. The charges weren't just from this trip. There were dinners in Raleigh, hotel stays I didn't know about, and a $500 Venmo payment to Jake Thompson. My mind raced. Was this an emotional cheating story, or worse? I dug deeper. Cross-referencing Lauren's Instagram. She'd posted stories from those work dinners, but the locations matched the charges. And in one blurry background I saw him, Jake, the guy from Chloe's photo, smiling at my wife. The fifth twist was my breaking point. The next day, Lauren announced they were extending the trip 2 days. "We're having so much fun, Nate. You don't mind, right?" Her tone was sweet, but her eyes were cold. Chloe chimed in. "Yeah, Nate, don't be a buzzkill." I looked at Lauren, waiting for her to stand up for me. She didn't. That's when I knew this wasn't just a toxic relationship story. It was betrayal. I didn't yell, I didn't fight. I walked away, pulled out my phone, and froze every credit card linked to my name. Then I called the hotel and canceled all pending charges for their rooms. If Lauren wanted to play this game, she'd play it without my money. By noon, I got a frantic text from her. "Nate, the card's not working. Fix it." I didn't reply. I was done being her ATM. The Charleston sun burned hotter that afternoon, or maybe it was just the fire in my chest. I sat in a cafe across from the hotel, sipping black coffee, watching the chaos unfold through the glass. Lauren's texts kept coming first, confused, then desperate, then angry. "Nate, this isn't funny. The hotel's threatening to call security. Where are you?" I didn't answer. For the first time in years, I wasn't running to fix her mess. This cheating wife story was about to take a turn she didn't see coming. By 2 p.m., I saw them, Lauren, Chloe, Megan, and Sarah, spilling out of the hotel lobby, arms flailing. Chloe was on her phone, probably trying to sort out the declined cards. Lauren's face was pale, her usual confidence replaced by something raw. Panic may be good. Let her feel what it's like to be left out in the cold. I'd spent years building our life, paying for her dreams, believing in her promises. Now I was done playing the fool in her infidelity story time. I wasn't heartless, though. I hadn't frozen our joint savings or her personal debit card. She had enough to get by if she could figure it out. But the credit cards, those were in my name, and I wasn't about to let her friends party on my dime while she texted Jake about their fun nights. The thought of that text, "Miss you already. Last night was fun," still twisted my gut. Who was he? How long had this been going on? I needed answers, but not from her. Not yet. I opened my laptop and dug deeper. Our bank's transaction history was a map of her lies. A $200 dinner at a Raleigh steakhouse 3 weeks ago when she told me she was at a client meeting. A $150 charge at a spa 2 months back on a weekend. She'd said she was visiting her sister, and that $500 Venmo to Jay Thompson. It wasn't a one-off. There were smaller payments. $50, $75 going back 6 months. My hands shook as I screenshot everything. This wasn't just a caught cheating on camera moment. It was a calculated betrayal. Then I checked her iCloud synced to our family iPad. I'd never snooped before, never needed to. But now I typed in her password, Ella's birthday, predictable. Her photo backups loaded, and there he was. Jake smirking in a selfie with Lauren at a rooftop bar, her head tilted against his shoulder. Another shot them laughing at a concert, her hand on his arm. The dates matched the charges. My throat tightened. I wasn't just living a cheating wife. Reddit post, I was drowning in it. The sixth twist came when I found their messages. Not the full thread. Lauren wasn't careless enough to back those up, but enough. A screenshot of a text from Jake. "Can't wait to see you in Charleston. Tell Nate it's a girl's trip. He'll buy it." My blood ran cold. She'd planned this. Invited her friends as a cover. Used me as a bankroll while she played house with him. The betrayal wasn't just emotional. It was a heist. I could have confronted her right then. Stormed across the street, shown her the screenshots, demanded answers, but rage doesn't win in a husband revenge story. Strategy does, I closed my laptop, paid for my coffee, and walked to a nearby ATM. I withdrew $1,000 in cash. Not for her, but for me. A safety net. Then I called my sister Rachel, a family lawyer in Durham. Nate. What's going on? She asked, her voice sharp with worry. I told her everything, the trip, the texts, the charges, Jake. She didn't hesitate. Protect yourself. Now change your passwords, lock your accounts, and don't let her gaslight you. I'll draft a separation agreement tonight. Rachel's words grounded me. I wasn't just a guy in a toxic relationship story. I was a father, a provider, a man who deserved better. I spent the next hour securing my digital life, new passwords for my email, bank, and investment accounts. I even removed Lauren's access to our home security system. If she wanted to come back to Raleigh, she'd have to knock. By evening, the seventh twist hit. I got a call from an unknown number. Nate. It's Sarah, Lauren's friend, the quiet one who hadn't mocked me as much. Her voice was shaky. I didn't know it was this bad. Lauren's freaking out. The hotel's holding our bags until we pay, and Chloe and Megan ditched her. I feel awful. I thought it was just a fun trip. I stayed silent, letting her fill the void. She's been weird lately. Talking about some guy, Jake. I didn't think it was serious, but now... I'm sorry, Nate. You didn't deserve this. Sarah's confession wasn't absolution, but it was clarity. Even her friends saw through Lauren's act. Thanks for telling me, I said, keeping my tone neutral. What's she doing now? Sarah sighed. She's trying to call her brother, but he's not picking up. She's stuck. I ended the call, my mind racing. Lauren's brother Derek was a hothead who'd never liked me. If she was desperate enough to call him, she was out of moves. I didn't go back to the hotel. Instead, I checked into a small inn a mile away, paid in cash. My phone buzzed with voicemails from Lauren, now 5, 6, 7. I didn't listen. I couldn't. Not because I was weak, but because I needed to stay sharp. This wasn't just a wife betrayal confession waiting to happen. It was a war for my dignity. The eighth twist came the next morning. I woke to an email from our home security company. A motion alert from our doorbell camera. I opened the app and saw Lauren standing on our porch at 6 a.m. fumbling with her keys. She'd flown back to Raleigh overnight, probably on her own dime. The locks had been changed. Rachel's idea, executed by a locksmith. I'd called yesterday. Lauren pounded on the door, her face a mix of fury and despair. Then she sat on the steps, head in her hands, and cried. For a split second, I felt a pang of guilt. 12 years, 2 kids. But then I remembered Jake's text, her lies. The $2,300 she'd spent on her friends while mocking me. The guilt faded. I didn't go home. I wasn't ready to face her. Instead, I drove to a park near our kids' school. Ella and Max were with my parents for the week, a precaution I'd taken before the trip. I called my mom, voice steady, but raw. Keep them a bit longer, okay? Things with Lauren. They're bad. Mom didn't pry, but her silence said she knew we've got them, Nate. You do what you need to. That afternoon, I met Rachel at her office. She slid a folder across her desk. Temporary separation papers, a financial audit template, and a custody outline prioritizing Ella and Max. You've got enough to file for divorce, she said. The credit card abuse, the infidelity, it's clear-cut. But you need to decide what you want. I leaned back, staring at the papers. Divorce after cheating felt like the obvious move, but it wasn't simple. Ella's laugh, Max's hugs, they were my anchor. Could I unravel their world without breaking them? The ninth twist blindsided me that evening. I was at a diner nursing a beer when my phone lit up with a text from an old friend, Brian, a contractor I'd worked with years ago. Yo, Nate, you okay? Saw Lauren's post on Insta. She's spinning some wild story. I frowned, opening Instagram. Lauren had posted a cryptic story, a black and white photo of our wedding rings on a table captioned, "Sometimes love isn't enough. I'm sorry." Comments poured in, her friends, her co-workers, even strangers. "Stay strong, girl. You deserve better." My jaw clenched. She was painting herself as the victim in this cheating wife-caught saga, and people were buying it. I didn't respond. Not online. Not to her, but I saved the post. Another piece of evidence, Brian texted again. Heard she's been hanging with Jake Thompson, shady dude. Works at her firm. Watch your back. Jake wasn't just a fling, he was a coworker, someone she saw every day. The realization hit like a brick. This wife affair exposed wasn't a one-off mistake. It was a double life. By nightfall, the 10th twist landed. Sarah called again, this time from the airport. Nate, I'm heading home. I can't stay with Lauren after this. She admitted it. About Jake. It's been going on for months. She said it started as a work thing, but it's more. I'm so sorry. Sarah's voice cracked. She's not herself. Or maybe she is, and I never saw it. I thanked her, hung up and sat in my car staring at the dashboard. Months, not weeks. Months. I drove to the hotel where Lauren's friends had been staying, curious if any were still there. The front desk clerk, a guy in his 20s, recognized me. You're Mr. Carter, right? Your wife's group left a tab open, they split, but it's $1,800, you covering it. I laughed a bitter sound. Not a chance. That's on her. The clerk nodded like he'd seen this before. Figured. She tried paying with a card this morning. Declined. Had to use her brother's. Lauren's brother, Derek. If he'd bailed her out, he'd be in her ear fueling her narrative. I didn't care about him, but I cared about Ella and Max. I called Rachel again. If Lauren tries to pick up the kids, what's the play? Rachel was firm. She's their mom, Nate. She has rights unless you prove she's unfit. But I'll file an emergency custody motion if she pulls anything reckless. Keep documenting. The 11th twist came at midnight. I was back at the inn scrolling through Lauren's old texts, looking for clues I'd missed. I found one from a month ago to Chloe. Nate's so predictable. Work, kids, sleep. I need more. Chloe's reply, you've got Jake for that. Live a little. My chest ached. Not just from the betrayal, but from the truth in her words. Had I been predictable? Had I let our marriage slip? I pushed the thought away. Her choices weren't my fault. Then my phone rang. Lauren. I stared at her name. My thumb, hovering. 12 years, 2 kids, a life. I answered Nate. She whispered, her voice thick with tears. I'm at home. I know I messed up. Can we talk, please? Her plea was soft, the Lauren I'd fallen for. But I wasn't that Nate anymore. Not tonight, I said I need time. She sobbed, but I hung up. This wasn't a Reddit cheating stories thread where I'd cave for a tearful apology. This was real. I lay awake replaying her voice, Jake's texts, Sarah's confession. The Charleston trip was supposed to save us. Instead, it shattered us. Lauren wasn't just a cheating wife, she was a stranger. And me, I was a man learning to stand again. The question wasn't whether I'd forgive her. It was whether I could forgive myself for staying blind so long. The Raleigh dawn broke gray and heavy, mirroring the weight in my chest. I hadn't slept. Lauren's tearful voice from last night's call, looping in my head. Can we talk? Please, her words felt like a hook, tugging at the man I used to be, the one who'd fix her problems. Forgive her flaws, believe in her promises. But that man was gone, buried under the rubble of her affair with Jake. Her lies and the $2,300 she'd burned through on her friend's Charleston spree. This cheating wife story wasn't just about betrayal. It was about me deciding who I'd be when the dust settled. I stayed at the inn, avoiding our house where Lauren was likely still camped out, plotting her next move. My phone buzzed with a new voicemail. Her again. I didn't listen. Instead, I called Rachel, my sister, who'd become my anchor in this storm. She's at the house, I said, voice low. What's my play? Rachel didn't sugarcoat it. Stay away for now. She's emotional and you're raw. One wrong word and this blows up messier. I'm sending the separation papers to her email today. Keep your focus on Ella and Max. Ella and Max. My kids were the only reason I hadn't burned everything down. They were still with my parents, safe from this chaos. But I couldn't hide it forever. How do you tell a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old their mom's been living a double life, that their dad's heart is in pieces? I pushed the thought aside and drove to a coffee shop, needing space to think. My laptop sat open, the screenshots of Lauren's texts with Jake staring back at me. Tell Nate it's a girl's trip, he'll buy it. Every word was a blade. The 12th twist came mid-morning. I got a text from Brian, my old contractor friend. Check Jake's LinkedIn, dude's been bragging. I frowned, pulling up the site. Jake Thompson, 35, senior account manager at Lauren's marketing firm. His latest post was a smug update about closing a big deal in Charleston with a photo of him at the same rooftop bar from Lauren's Instagram stories. The timestamp matched the night she'd texted him about their fun. My stomach churned. He wasn't just her fling, he was flaunting it like I was too dumb to notice. I dug deeper, cross-referencing his profile with the firm's website. Jake had been promoted 6 months ago, right when Lauren's work dinners started. A quick search of his public Facebook showed more a photo of him and Lauren at a team retreat, her smiling too brightly, his hand on her shoulder. The comments were innocuous coworkers joking about work, hard play, hard, but to me, they screamed wife affair exposed. This wasn't a one-night mistake. It was a calculated choice woven into her daily life. I could have called her out, sent those screenshots to her boss, or posted them online for her friends to see. A revenge cheating wife move would have felt good for a minute. But I'd read enough Reddit cheating stories to know public shaming backfires. It'd hurt Ella and Max more than her. Instead, I forwarded everything to Rachel. Add this to the file I texted. Proof of infidelity. Her reply was instant. Got it. You're doing this right. By noon, the 13th twist landed. Sarah, Lauren's friend who'd ratted her out, sent me an email. Nate, I'm back in Raleigh. I need to tell you something in person. It's about Lauren and Jake. Can we meet? I hesitated. Sarah had already confirmed the affair, but her tone felt urgent. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet at a park near my office. When I got there, Sarah looked wrecked. Red eyes. No makeup. Her usual polish gone. I didn't want to do this, she started, voice trembling. But Lauren's not just cheating, she's been planning to leave you. My heart stopped. Leave me. Sarah nodded, pulling out her phone. She showed me a text thread from Lauren dated a week before the Charleston trip. Jake's serious about us, Lauren had written. Once I get the kids settled, I'm telling Nate it's over. He'll be fine, he always is. Sarah's eyes met mine. I thought she was venting. But in Charleston, she told Chloe she's been moving money to a separate account. I checked her Venmo after we talked. She's been sending Jake cash, Nate, hundreds at a time. The park spun. Lauren wasn't just cheating. She was plotting an exit using my money to fund it. The $500 Venmo to Jake wasn't a gift. It was a down payment on her new life. Sarah kept talking, but I barely heard her. I'm done with her, she said. She's not the friend. I thought. I nodded numb. Thanks, Sarah. She left, and I sat on a bench, the weight of her words sinking in. This wasn't just a true cheating story. It was a heist of my trust, my family, my future. I called Rachel again, relaying Sarah's bombshell. She's moving money. Rachel's voice was steel. That's financial infidelity. I'll get a forensic accountant on this. If she's hiding assets, it'll tank her in court. I didn't care about winning yet. I just wanted to protect my kids. What about Ella and Max? I asked. Rachel softened. You're their rock. Nate, tell them the truth, but keep it simple. They don't need the details, just your love. That evening, I drove to my parents' house to see the kids. Ella ran out, hugging me tight. Dad, why aren't you with Mom? Max followed, his toy truck in hand. Eyes wide, I knelt down, forcing a smile. Mom and I are figuring some things out. Okay, but I'm here and I love you both. Ella frowned, too smart for vague answers. Are you fighting? I took a breath. We're working on grown-up stuff. You don't need to worry. You've got me. Grandma, Grandpa, and each other. Max nodded, but Ella's eyes lingered, searching. I hated lying, even by omission. Back at the inn, the 14th twist hit. Rachel forwarded me an email from Lauren's brother Derek, sent to her office address by mistake. Sis, you're screwing this up. It read Nate's not the loser. You said Jake's a sleaze, everyone at the firm knows it. Come clean, or you're gonna lose the kids. Derek's bluntness shocked me. He'd never liked me, but he saw through Lauren's game. The email also mentioned a company gala next week, where Jake would be showing off. I filed it away. If Lauren and Jake were still playing house, I'd catch them in the act. Not for revenge, but for leverage. The next day, I hired a private investigator, a guy Rachel recommended. Just follow her and Jake. I said I need proof, not drama. He nodded. No questions asked. I also met with the accountant Rachel hired, who found $4,000 in transfers to an account Lauren had opened in her name only. The paper trail was damning, small enough to avoid my notice, big enough to build her escape fund. This wasn't just an emotional cheating story. It was theft. The 15th twist came 3 days later. The PI sent me photos from a hotel bar in downtown Raleigh. Lauren and Jake cozy, in a booth, her hand on his knee. The timestamp was last night when she texted me claiming she was at home thinking about us. The PI's report noted Jake's car parked at her firm's lot overnight with Lauren's SUV nearby. They weren't even hiding anymore. I saved the photos, my resolve hardening. This caught her cheating reaction wasn't about my pain, it was about my kid's future. I finally went home knowing Lauren was at work. The house felt wrong. Her perfume lingered, but it wasn't ours anymore. On the kitchen counter, I found a note in her handwriting. "Nate, I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this. Let's talk." I crumpled it. Her apologies were as empty as her promises. I packed a bag for the kids and left, locking the door behind me. Rachel had arranged a temporary apartment for me close to the kids' school. It wasn't home, but it was a start. The 16th twist was the gala. I didn't plan to go too risky, but Brian, who knew someone at Lauren's firm, got me a +1 ticket. "Go see for yourself," he said. I wore a suit, blended in, and watched from a corner. Lauren was there, radiant in a red dress. Jake at her side. They laughed, clinked glasses, played the perfect couple. But I saw the cracks, her forced smile, his wandering eyes. When she spotted me, her face went white. Jake followed her gaze, smirked, and whispered something. She nodded, and they left the ballroom. I didn't follow. I didn't need to. The PI was outside snapping photos. Instead, I drove to Rachel's office, where she was waiting with the finalized separation papers. "You've got enough for a clean divorce," she said. "Infidelity, financial misconduct, the works. But you need to talk to her, Nate. For closure, not reconciliation." I knew she was right. This cheating story voiceover needed an ending. 2 days later, I agreed to meet Lauren at a cafe. She looked smaller, her confidence gone. "Nate," she started, tears welling. "I messed up. Jake was a mistake. I got lost. But I love you. I love our family." I let her talk, her words a mix of regret and excuses. She admitted the affair, the money, the plan to leave. "I was stupid," she said. "Can you forgive me?" Her eyes searched mine, desperate for the old Nate. I leaned forward, voice calm. "I forgive you, Lauren. Not for you, for me. But we're done. You broke us, and I won't let you break our kids." Her face crumpled, but I kept going. "Sign the papers. Give me primary custody. We'll co-parent, but you don't get to play victim." She nodded, sobbing, and I left, the weight lifting slightly. This wasn't a divorce after cheating fairy tale. It was survival. Months later, the dust settled. Lauren moved to an apartment, started therapy, and got a new job. Her firm fired Jake after the gala photos leaked. I got the house, primary custody, and a life I was rebuilding. Ella and Max were adjusting their questions, softer but still sharp. I met someone new. Clara, a school counselor who listened more than she spoke. It wasn't love yet, but it was honest, and that was enough. Lauren called once, months after the divorce. "I'm trying to be better," she said. For the kids, I believed her. Not because I trusted her, but because I hoped for their sake. We shook hands at a school event, civil but distant. She was starting from zero. I was starting from strength. This cheating wife story didn't end with vengeance or tears. It ended with a choice to walk away, not from hate, but from healing. Was I wrong to let her go without a fight? Or did I save something greater myself? If this story hit you, drop a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe to Viora for more raw, real stories that cut deep.